Well, I think we have a quorum now, and it's 7 o'clock. So why don't we call this meeting to order?
Okay,
Just wanted to say first off, welcome, Bruce.
thank you. I
We
have been on
really
the
appreciate
committee
you
for,
stepping up.
no problem. I was on this a few years ago for a while, and then with all of my workloads picking up, Dylan was hired. He came in, he took over. So now he's gone, so it comes back over to me. But that's fine. We could work on this.
I'm glad this is a lighter lift for you now. So if you'd like to, why don't we just get right into it this
Okay.
evening? And we can start with public comment. I know we have someone here for public comment.
Mhm.
So, Rachel, I heard you wanted to share some thoughts at public comment. I want to make sure you have the opportunity to be heard. What would you like to share with us?
Thank you so much. I wrote my comments down, so I will read them to you now. So good evening. My name is Rachel Martin. I'm a board member of Bike Walk Farmington, Farmington Safe Routes to School champion, and a passionate pedestrian advocate. My family and I live on Progress Avenue in Unionville, just a short walk to Unionville Center, and half a mile to Union School, where my sons, ages 5 and 7, attend. Walkability to school, downtown businesses, and the Farmington River Trail is one of the major reasons we chose to move to Unionville 4 years ago, and my children and I walk to Union School every day. Unfortunately, in order to get to school, we must cross Lovely Street at its intersection with Sylvan Avenue, where cars are often speeding at upwards of 50 miles per hour over a hill with poor line of sight to the crosswalk. A few weeks after we moved into our home, an elderly neighbor was struck by a vehicle and seriously injured while crossing at this crosswalk. Shortly after this incident, our neighbors developed a petition to demand safety improvements at the intersection. The town and state DOT approved the installation of flashing pedestrian lights here. But unfortunately, 4 years later, the promised lights still have not been installed. In my frequent follow-ups with the police department and the town traffic advisory board, I have received no definitive timeline to begin this project. So every day as we walk to school, my kids and I must hold hands and run across Lovely Street, terrified that a vehicle will come speeding over the hill at the wrong moment. More often than not, cars do not stop for us as we wait to cross, despite the new law requiring them to do so. We have witnessed more than a few close calls in which we had to retreat back to our side of the street. Once we make the cross, we then have to contend with the five-way intersection in downtown Unionville, another dangerous crossing. Vehicles speed through this intersection long after the lights have turned red and the pedestrian crossing signal has activated. We have on more than one occasion had to jump back onto the curb after attempting to cross to avoid being hit. We are lucky. Anyone who was less able-bodied or visually or hearing impaired may not even have been able to do so. Our neighborhood has many more children going to school and waiting for buses on Lovely Street, and many of our neighbors are cyclists and pedestrians. Unfortunately, many have expressed that they will no longer walk downtown or ride their bikes to the river trail for fear of having to cross both Lovely Street and the five-way intersection. To me, this is a tragedy. Unionville already has much of the infrastructure to be a wonderfully pedestrian-friendly area of town with its many sidewalks and wonderful amenities. Extensive research, I'm sure as you know, shows that high walkability strongly correlates with community satisfaction, physical health, and social connectedness, among many other benefits. Sadly, as a society, we have long prioritized and invested in vehicles and traffic over pedestrian safety and enjoyment. I know that Farmington can do better, and I look forward to working with all of you to hear the experiences and needs of our neighbors and work together to develop solutions in which all residents can feel safe walking. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rachel. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm going to, I don't see anyone else for public comment. So why don't we get right into our new business and just start talking about the Town of Farmington Police Department's guide for e-bikes. So do you have some input for us on that?
Well, I'm a little behind on this, as I said. So
No worries.
what I thought the commission was looking for, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought they were looking for some kind of a guideline to e-bikes and stuff that can be sent out. So this is what the police department had pulled up, had put together, put in the um, put in the newsletter. So it describes the new
Mhm.
laws, the classifications, age restrictions, and helmets and everything like that. So I'm not sure if this is what the committee wanted. It's already done. We don't have to we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. So if this is fine, this is on. Let me double check, but I think it's on the bicycle website. So if not, I can have this added to it. But it is on the police department
Yeah.
website as well.
So Bruce,
Bruce, go ahead.
my
Did you actually send this to us? Because I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, it was in the email I sent with the agenda review.
Oh.
Everything was attached
Oh,
to
okay.
the
yeah, this was
agenda
attached.
review.
This is very similar. A number of other police departments have done something similar over the last kind of month or so to get ready for the October 1st laws. Bruce, my understanding was that the town wanted to look at the potential for some sort of ordinance.
Yeah.
That was my understanding.
That was kind of what Kathy did say to me and Dylan when we met before he went on to West Hartford. But the way we left it after our last meeting, I believe, Bruce, you were going to bring to us some information from a meeting that you were going to attend between our last meeting and this one. Has that occurred?
Yeah. So, well, there's been a couple of the big meeting with the state police and the consortium of people that Bike Walk Connecticut and Watch for Me Connecticut and a couple of other organizations. That meeting still has not happened. That was moved to, I think it's next week now.
Oh, okay.
However, there have been a bunch of meetings. The lieutenant governor had a press conference on this. There's been some other bits and pieces of things. I did send you, and I believe that that you got that. And Bruce, I don't know if you saw that email or not, because I'm not sure you were on it. I sent out what's out there for current municipal ordinances that have been passed, and most of them are in the form of worrying about things that aren't e-bikes. In other words, motorized devices, ATVs, dirt bikes, what are now being called motorized scooters. So a motorized scooter is anything above 750 watts, and so I think the important thing here is that if the town wants to look at e-bike legislation, then we need to kind of go back and look at what is needed on the trails versus on roads and sidewalks, because they're really two different things. So anyway, I could go on for a long time about this. This has been a subject in a number of meetings over the last month, as you can imagine.
No, that's a great update. Exactly. And Bruce, just so you know, when Dylan and I last met with Kathy, and you certainly can check with her, but she did ask us, meaning Farmington, to try and take a leadership role in this and determining how we manage e-bike safety on the roads and on the trails and on sidewalks. We're looking at those three components, and it's not something that we can't do without the input of the police department as well. So, Dan, it would be great to have your input on this as well.
No, police department has to be involved. I mean, it's absolutely critical. And
it's going to be like a separate subcommittee to kind of look at that.
Oh, I think it should be. Yeah, we could spend an hour and a half just parsing that tonight, which I don't think makes much sense, quite frankly. But
I think that's a perfect thing for a subcommittee. Would you agree with that, Bruce?
Yeah. It's funny. Bruce, BC, Bruce Sear, We used to have this problem all the
Oh,
time.
sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We had this problem constantly. Is someone say, "Yeah, right, Bruce," and then we both say, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. I fell into that trap, didn't I?
All right. Yeah, I think a committee is great. I mean, Bruce, if you want to be on it, and maybe we can grab someone from the PD.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we
Could I
should do
make a
That
that.
be
comment on
Daniel,
this?
or should that be somebody else? I'm not sure. I would love to have Daniel there since he's a part of our group anyway, but I'll go with what your recommendation might be for who from the police department should be involved in this.
Yeah, right. So, Brian, I thought at the last meeting we collected some names of people from this group that were interested. I can't remember who they were, but
Yeah, I don't have that in the minutes, so
okay.
that's the problem.
Could I make a comment on this?
Sure, Rich, what do you got?
Just an observation. I ride through Hartford every day, and on Mortson Plaza, where it's part of the East Coast Greenway, they've posted signs. I guess the city of Hartford. It's pretty clear, and it just says no e-bikes, no motor scooters.
Okay.
To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, these things, they're going 20, 25 miles an hour, should be riding on the road, not on sidewalks and on
Mhm.
bike trails. It's not the appropriate place. I like to simplify things, and I think just some
It's not the first
signs
time.
and just make a hard, fast rule. They shouldn't be on the trails.
Rich, would you
That's my
like to be
opinion.
part of this committee?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will just throw out there the fact that Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes had been considered and remain being considered as ADA assist devices, and that's a whole kettle of fish that we'll have to discuss because, among other things, so are motorized wheelchairs. So you're not wrong. I mean the problem. You just basically explained the problem. The problem is that there's a lot of quote unquote e-bikes that may or may not even be e-bikes. That's the first thing, and then secondly, they go way too fast, and it's a genuine problem on our trails. Should they just be allowed to be on the street? That's a whole other issue, and then of course sidewalks. So yeah. I mean, this is not, like I said, this is not something I think we can do in an hour. I think it's, yeah, it's much more complex than that.
But I think we talk about it at length. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just a quick,
What do you got,
thank
Carolyn?
you. Quick question. Are there any laws out there that restrict by category of e-bike?
Oh yeah.
Say,
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
Good
yes. Now, in fact, the state, so the relatively new one, right, that it goes into effect October 1st, does allow for Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes to be on multi-use state trails. So that we know that exists out there. That does not mean for an instant that a municipality, i.e. Farmington, can't create a municipal ordinance that says you can't go faster than 15 miles an hour and whatever else.
I think that's exactly what we said we wanted to talk about. You're right. Ron, I believe you said you wanted to be part of this committee. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to put together a list for us. I know, Bruce, you're probably doing the same thing I'm doing. So I think Ron said he wanted to be part of it. Carolyn, did you say you wanted to? And I don't mean to put anyone on the spot. I'm just making sure. And you don't, if you want to, you feel free to raise your hand. I'm not pointing any fingers here. Just don't want to miss anybody. Neil, were you part of that?
I think I said I'd participate when I can, but I didn't need to be a full member of it. But I'd like to track it and comment from time to time.
Yeah,
very good.
I think the best thing to do is, as you know, is to probably keep the committee small
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
easier to coordinate a meeting instead of having people having all different schedules. Keep it small. And what we'll do is we will actually come back to the committee every month, update them, and then at that point we can discuss going in a certain direction or not. That way I think personally I think that may be easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
would make a lot of sense. So we've
Okay.
got 5 people on it right now, so I think that certainly is enough. But everyone
Okay.
is always welcome to join.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll send out stuff. Everyone can see what's going on and can then comment at that point. So,
I need to have Bruce, Richard, uh, Dan, Daniel, or someone from the police department and Neil as a potential sometime.
mhm.
And
Me
we'll leave it at that. How does that sound, Bruce?
and me,
Who's me?
That's Ron,
Ron.
right?
Okay, yeah,
Ron.
yep,
Ron,
yep,
all right.
yep. I've got him on
Yep,
there.
you're on there.
So I've
Yeah.
got the
I
two
thought you were
Bruce.
on there, but I didn't hear you say yes, so I just didn't want to assume, but I was pretty sure.
Daniel, you have any thoughts on
All right.
this while we're putting this together? He might not be there. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
There we
he's
go.
on. Here you go.
I
That's good.
can find the unmute button.
Julian, shh.
Sorry, like I said, I have my son here. Hold on.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so like with like the new with the new rollout on October 1st, I think the only issue we have is going to be figuring out, like Bruce D was saying, kind of like what we want to, I don't know, put the parameter on of like if it's going to be a speed, is
Yeah.
it a class size or a class, is it a wattage? And then following up with that would be like the enforcement of it. It would be a little tough, especially if we do a speed, but that's for the committee to kind of like, dive into a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to the state police, that's essentially what they were talking about was from their point of view, and I'm sure your point of view as well, is in fact the enforcement part of this is how do you do that?
Because there's plenty of people on e-bikes who are just riding the trail and they're not, kind of riding them aggressively or too fast. And a lot of times it's a one individual instance. And it's like, by the time you get an officer out there, the person could be miles out, miles ahead away or
Yep. I mean, yeah. And there's another component to this too, which we haven't really talked about, and then I'll shut up for a while. But which is, we don't want to dissuade people from buying a bike.
Right. That too.
That's the last thing we want to do. So, it's parsing this and figuring out how to make this and something came up in one of these subcommittee meetings I was in, which was the threat of enforcement. Which is another interesting thing, I mean, if we say, our town police can enforce with ticketing, but of course, obviously, there's only so much bandwidth in the day. How many tickets are you actually going to ever write? But the threat of it is out there.
So it's all important stuff, but I'm wondering if that information is better served to our subcommittee.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah, it is. I probably went too far there.
No, that's okay. That's all right. Thank you for taking us down that road. No pun intended. How about moving on to the projects that we have up and coming and that we talked about last time we got together? Because there are a lot of good things here that we wanted to accomplish. It's been on our list for a while, and now it's actually getting done. So, Bruce, you want to take us through the review of proposed projects?
Yes, that I can do. Give me a second here. All right. The first one was the bollard maintenance. From what I think I've been told and heard, it's regarding the 3 bollards, and I think some of the bollards that are just in some poor shape or poor and just need a repair. So I did speak with Russ Arnold, our director of Public Works, as well as James Rosbason, our highway superintendent. So I think the intention is we can't do them all at once. I think we know that due to funding. So I think what we can do is hit a couple of these and look at repairing what we can, pulling out the 3 and going to maybe 1 or 2 of the fold down bollards. So unless the
Awesome.
unless the committee has a preference on where to start, we can look at doing that. And then I think some of the other ones, those will repair as the bike trails become paved. And I know that we do have some paving scheduled out for some time to start paving the trails over. I can't give you an exact date, but I know that they have that scheduled out in a capital program, so we could address those when we pave the trails at that time.
Okay. That hasn't gone out for RFP, has it?
No, it wouldn't. It'll just be an in-house thing is all we're gonna do. We're not gonna,
Okay.
we'll probably just do
didn't know,
most of
just-
this in-house. All right.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, if the committee has any preferences on the intersections, let me know. We either talk about it now or just shoot me an email and we can put together a list.
Is there a question about the bollard since it's first on the list?
I think that specification that the Farmington Valley Trails Council Bollards Committee did of having just one or none, and then have it be a standard folder would be at least my, you know, and Ron can speak to that. He was on that committee as well. But it's a good specification and it seems to work quite well. As I know, I think you're aware, Avon took most of their bollards down. I think that's problematic. You know,
Yeah.
one of the reasons to have bollards is to keep cars off the trail, obviously.
Agreed.
But having said that, you know, we also want the trails to be safe, and so you know, whatever's left up should also have that you know, bright paint and some reflective stickers, and that'll go a long way for the safety aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, that was when we were talking about
Bruce,
painting the two. Oh, go ahead, Kate. Go ahead, Neil. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. A couple of the ones that I noticed that need, well, one that needs repair and really just probably repainting is you're traveling from Plainville towards Collinsville and you're crossing Red Oak there. There is one that's a yellow one, but the back side of it is painted like a rust dark red color. It's hard to see.
Is this
so-
is this on Red Oak, you're saying? So if you're
Yeah.
going on the north south, okay.
Yeah. So it's
That's a
right,
newer
right
one,
before
too.
you cross that road at that intersection.
Yeah,
Um,
all those are new, I thought. So all right.
Okay. Yeah, that's painted like I said, a dark red rust color. I don't know, you know, probably somebody did that and maybe got scared off before they put graffiti on the back of it. But the other ones are down by River Road. There's a couple that are 3 wide, and don't even, they're not even at a crossing. I think there might have been a driveway there at one point.
We
But there's
we've had
there's
discussions
nothing
with
in
the
there
people.
now.
So-
So those I would
Okay.
say would be ripe for removal.
Okay.
I also think the conversation last time might have incorporated, and I'm not sure what you're thinking of, Bruce, so I just want to let you know what I remember hearing. We were taking the 3 bollards down to 1, which we agreed was possible, and that where we
Yeah.
had 2 would be a little more expensive because it meant drilling a new hole and getting rid of the 2 that were there, or at
Yeah.
least not, or just putting in the foldable one in replacement of, and taking out those other 2 bollards. So I'm not sure exactly how much effort and cost is involved in that. But does that seem like a fairly simple adjustment?
Adjustment, it's just going to be finding the time and the money to do that at this point.
Okay.
Our highway guys are pretty strapped. They've been really
Yeah.
busy and short this year, and then they're moving into leaves. So I think what we'll do is we'll put together something, and if it's a small if it's a small amount, if the amount or the figure is small enough, we can maybe farm that out to a sub to just do a few of those.
Okay.
All right.
I think to make it quick and affordable, we were talking about just pulling out, leaving the 1 bollard in the center from the 3 and painting the 2 so they were more visible as our next step. Where we have 2 bollards?
Yeah.
where we have two bollards because they're painted green and they can be hard to see. We're talking about painting them a brighter color and putting some reflective tape on them, which seems like a quick and effective fix. Am I remembering that correctly, guys?
Well, I think ideally, if we have doubles, and we do in a few, particularly if the 2000s projects, Bruce, that we did, there's some doubles. Ideally, they should be both taken out and have one put in. That would be ideal.
But I think, like you said, I
correct.
think it may be easier and less painful to the pavement and safety problems if you pull out, let's say, one of them and just fill it in, compared to pulling them out, patching them, and then drilling a new hole. So we'll
Yeah.
figure, you know what,
Yeah.
I'll figure out a plan. I think
I'll
it's
leave
gonna
that
be
to you because you got that
intersection by
expertise.
intersection. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Bruce.
mean, and honestly, some of them just, literally just getting some paint on them, just so people see them. I think that's a big deal. The other thing I did, just for the record, is I did look at the newer AASHTO bike guide, and the width between bollards is indeed still 43 inches. So that's ADA. So I did check that again just to make sure.
So that's minimum width, right?
That's minimum. Yes, that's minimum.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Item was the Highlands wayfinding signs.
Yep.
This was brought up, I think, as far back as when Matt Bloom was on the committee.
Mhm.
And I think that was, I think there was some discussion on that, and then that actually, I think the feeling was that wasn't needed. But now I see it back on the list. So my concern is, I guess, where do we put the signs? I mean, what is going to be that route? What are the residents going to feel? With say cars or with the bikes running through there on a regular basis. Would it just be easier? I mean, in this day and age, everybody has a phone, everybody has GPS. If you're on the trail and you want to get to the high school or whatever, you're just going to use your phone. If you're not familiar with the area, you'll just turn on your GPS and that'll take you there.
So Bruce, this is Andres. We've been asking for the wayfinding signs for probably a decade, and usually it's gotten shot down, by the town saying, well, we've got too many other projects going on. I don't think the bike committee ever wants to not do that. The reason to put them up is that there's a lot of people that are just walking on the trail, and it gives information. On the trail, they'll say, oh, hey, I can get to the library from the bike path. What's the route to get there? And as they're walking on the trail, they see that. And so it just adds to the livability of the bike trail, of, using the bike trail for more than just recreation. And so it's part of, connecting the town. For locations, I would think, immediately on the bike path to the cut through, and then what the Farmington Valley Greenway's done on the road sections, little, 6-inch by 6-inch signs with a logo and an arrow pointing straight ahead so you could follow the route. So on the bike path itself, we'd have an information sign, to Town Hall, Farmington High School, and the library, and then, follow the signs. But to the point of everything's available online, it is. But people going on the bike path aren't going to be looking on it and saying, hey, I wonder where this little cut through goes. They're just on the bike path. They've been on there forever, and they've probably, maybe not even noticed it, or just thought it went to some neighbor's backyard.
I
Yeah,
think
and
that's an
Bruce,
important point.
And Bruce, just to add on top of that, Andres is right. That, he and I have been on this committee, I think, the longest, and this has been one of the things that has been coming up over the years. I kind of resurrected it, or we did, is I was driving through West Hartford. I don't know if you've been through there, but they have three routes. I think it's a blue route, an orange route, and a green route. And all they have is little signs. I can show you a picture of them, or send it to you tomorrow. It's just a little sign with a bike, a little round sign, and then an arrow underneath it, and it connects the trail through the town, things like that. So that's what we were thinking, and I'm hoping that that's the first shot, getting people from the trail up to the municipal campus, and then maybe we can find other places in town to do this as well. As far as where they're mounted on other signs. They're mounted on telephone poles, so they're not freestanding signs. It's just something that's pretty small and innocuous, but if you're looking for it, kind of like on the Metacomet Trail, you're looking for the blue or white paint line, brush lines, right? Something that's visual that will help people get where they're intended to go. So I'll send those to you tomorrow via email.
And just to pick up on what Andres was referring to, I think it's fair to say we're also talking about not just wayfinding on the existing roads, so you could use like Waze, but there are a bunch of trails that may not be marked or anywhere that we want to let people know about, that they can get them someplace more quickly. Is that fair to say? Because I know we were talking about that.
I understand it. I just have a concern. I look at it. I understand that people, you and I will go through that trail, no problem, right? I just have a concern that some of these exits, I'll call them an exit off of the bike trail, are not adequately designed, shall we say, for that. So once you mark that route, somebody goes off there, falls, gets hurt. Now we're liable. So
I was going to say, does that make us responsible?
yeah, it does. It'll make us because we're actually marking that route. Everything always comes back to the town because the town has the biggest pockets. So everyone's going to come back to us because, hey, you marked that
Who's
route.
that?
You did not maintain
Hi.
that route. So, all right. So let me do a little more talking
You were
with
snoring.
let me do a little more talking with the
Do you want me to put your
powers
sandwich?
powers to be.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
so Bruce, with that, I mean, we've got other trails in town, that are on maps, like all the trails at Tungus Mead.
Mhm.
And, the cut throughs going there aren't really any better or worse than those trails.
No, I agree. But the only one that we have there's only probably two exits I can think of to get to the high school, right? One is going to be to go through Basswood, so go off of Brickyard, go off of
Yep.
Basswood.
Yep.
The other one is the cut through by I don't know if you guys even know what it is, but it's the stormwater
Right.
detention basin that's over by Rosewood. That's just a
Rosewood,
footpath. That's just a footpath.
Yeah.
I have not been on that one in a while. So
I'm on that probably several times a week.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is,
It's rough.
I'd say it's not ADA compliant,
Yeah, it's
but
rough.
like, does it need to be?
Yes. That's the whole reason why getting off of the trail down at Wawasa was such a concern. Everybody said, put in some stairs, put in stairs. You can't put in stairs because once you put in stairs, you've now exiled the ADA, and now you can bring yourself up for a large fine, and now you're building an ADA accessible. So it's not that easy, and that's where I think where this is all coming from. So let me do a little more talking, and maybe I'll go out to that Rosewood cut through again. I haven't been there in a while, but I'll look at it. But I think the only alternate safe option is to send them up through Basswood. Take the sidewalk, cross up, and then go over that way. Now that's a pretty long alternate route. So
And it's a big hill too.
yeah, it is. But and like I said, that's why I think
so-
leaving it unmarked, it's
Yeah.
sometimes it's safer. And I understand what you're saying. I understand we want to get people off the trails into other areas of town, which is what we started doing with some other signs in other areas. But it's just at the intersections with an arrow pointing you to go in that direction, find your
Yep.
own route, that kind of
So-
thing.
So Bruce, with for that cut through on Rosewood, It does go up a little bit and then back down a bit. And if we cut that down and made it a constant grade, I don't know what the height or what the grade limit is for ADA, but there's plenty of room. And I don't know if we can do stone dust. I mean, that would, that's basically what it is now.
But Andres, I've got a problem with the stormwater basin. I can't go cutting down an elevation of the stormwater basin.
No.
because Therefore, it
It's all
reduces.
above it. It's definitely, none of this is below the swale for the
No.
stormwater basin.
All right. Well, I'll take a look. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take a look and then we can go back.
Okay.
All right. Next item was improving
Super.
Oh, go ahead.
If we're talking about signage, is this where you might want to talk about Kathy's email about the Brickyard parking lot sign, or do you want to move that somewhere else?
I got a note at the end, but I know that Bruce Donald sent me a picture of the sign. I think it was at the Brickyard Road.
Yeah, it's just this is the big green oblong circular sign. It's just rotting to pieces, and it needs to be replaced. So in fact, it was brought up to my attention by the Farmington Valley Trails Council, and they said, if it's a cost issue, they might be interested in helping with the cost. But it did bring up the fact that we've got some older signage around town, and we should take a look at it, and which does make some sense. But that one in particular is just literally just falling apart.
I've been out of the game for a little while on this with all the vendors. So do you guys have a vendor that you guys use? We could at least start getting some of the prices together.
I was going to hope that you could take a look and see who our last vendor was when we did, because I honestly don't recall.
I don't know if the trail council had some. All right, so let me get some prices, and then I'll get back to you, Bruce, and we can talk about any kind of cost sharing.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
Next item
Now,
is
that part of
go ahead.
improve access to business?
Yep.
Right.
I'm not sure. Anyone have any thoughts on that one? I'm not sure what that was for. If there was a certain area.
Kind of,
Are we talking about item D there?
C,
Okay.
improve access to business along the trail. Was that with wayfinding, or was that with, adjustments to the ground, which I think we've kind of covered because we don't want to take on that kind of responsibility and liability?
That might also be the cut through over to Daily Grind from the bike path.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That we had talked to Dylan about taking one of those fence sections down.
Yeah, what we talked about. Let me see if I should have had this ready for you guys then. Oh, we don't want that, do we? We agreed. I spoke with Russ Arnold, our director, as well as our highway superintendent, and we got a proposal here. So the intention was to get rid of this parking spot, and I can't go using my finger here, but on the white car here, using that white car and blocking that out and cross hatching that one, and maybe making a paved area from the bike trail across, and then cross that parking stall and doing a crosswalk or so to access that. So if that's kind of doable, then we can kind of hammer that down a little more, and maybe the highway department can do that. Is that kind of what was talked about?
I don't think I ever saw a formal plan, and there's no
sketch.
Maps that helps.
There's no sketch. It just was talked about that was kind of, I think, what we were thinking of doing was, or what they were thinking of doing was about doing that right where that white car is. Because that's probably the best site, because the sight line is really, as you guys know, is tight on there. We don't want to have people crossing in a blind spot. So you want to pick the best open spot where someone can see and and actually be seen.
Yeah. So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm okay with any of that. Like you said, as long as you you have the right sight lines, and I trust the people that are doing it to make sure that works.
I just want to make sure that's kind of what was talked about, because I don't want to
Yeah.
push through with that, and if there was some other kind of a design or thought brought up. All right.
Sounds like a great
And-
design. Thank
Yeah, it looks
you.
perfect
You want to
to
do
me.
trail repairs?
Yep, I'm hitting that one now. And then the trail repairs, unless there's something specific, I guess we can just walk it and do some spot repairs. All right. I think when Dylan was here, I think the committee was looking for a large scale overlay or a widening of that area, and I think the cost was would have been a large capital improvement cost, and I don't think it made the cut at that point.
Could I say something here?
Yeah.
Because I thought this list was like end of the year project, small projects. And I brought this item D up because I know there's a few like low spots in that trail that are kind of like sinkholes that don't sink all the way through that could throw people off. I can certainly like you know, point them out better through the work order system.
Yeah, I mean, Rich,
If that would help.
if you want to meet down there with me, we can do that if you want. Is that easier?
Yeah, certainly, man. I come by there. I come down that way every day at like around 4:30. I don't know if that's too late in the day for you, but
Let me you know what? Offline, I'll shoot you an email, and we can work on a time either Thursday or maybe do something early next week. All right?
all right, perfect. Yep, I'm
Okay.
flexible.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys. Can we
That's
move
good.
on to old business then? Ron, you want to talk about the Farmington Valley Trails Council?
Yeah. So we have, in conjunction with them, sort of, we have our Bike Walk Farmington Safety Committee table at the library, main library, on October 6th. It's a Wednesday night. Myself, Carolyn, Neil, Rachel will be there, and we'll be teaching different skills. Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting this
October
one mixed
6th?
up. No, so we already did that one. Carolyn, can you help me here?
Yeah,
We're gonna be,
Ron, that was last Wednesday.
yeah,
Yeah, October 1st. Yeah, I can start and Carolyn can jump in. We actually had, I think, 21 people come out for
Easily.
that, which was very good attendance.
Yeah.
We spoke about all things safety. It was, I think there was actually 3 or 4 families there, where they had an adult or both parents and some children, some very young and some teenagers. I think one was either about to learn how to drive or is just starting to learn how to drive. So it was a good mix. And Carolyn's husband went through how to change a tire, which was something the library wanted us to cover. And then we did some things about, which side of the road, what side of the path. We actually laid some tape down the center of the room and to show yellow lines, white lines, the fog line, and the curb and all that. So I think we got some good feedback on it, and it's something that we intend to do again. The library, was very good working with us on this. And they said if you have a good turnout, we can make it something that we do again. And she was very happy with the 20 number. She didn't tell us what the good turnout number was, but she was very pleased with 20, and said, yeah, we could definitely do it again in the spring or the fall. So Carolyn, I know I jumped in there. Do you have anything to add?
No, I mean that basically summed it up. Some basic safety stuff about bikes, helmets. A lot of adults were asking a lot of questions. So some adults were just sort of starting their journey, starting to bicycle, which surprised me in a really good way. We had kids from maybe like 5 years old on to 17, as Neil mentioned. And yeah, we had demo, staying visible. My husband did the flat tire repair, and yeah, we're kind of developing a really nice relationship with the library at the moment.
Yeah.
And
One
we
of the
got
questions that kept coming up was about e-bikes too. So there is interest in the community to, you know, to be involved and learn more about that going forward.
And I've been
Yeah.
hearing a lot about it in the last couple of weeks too. A lot.
Oh yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
yeah. Brian was
And
there,
we-
so thank you.
yeah. And we can,
No worries.
you know, we can build off of this momentum too. And there was one more thing. I can't
Well,
remember.
for Bike Walk Farmington, I just want to say that Rachel Martin, if that's okay, Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll just jump on in. She's our new community walk director. So she's the one that spoke during public comment right before
Yeah.
committee meeting. We're really excited to work with her. She's done a lot of advocacy. As she explained, she's been back and forth with the town for years about her own neighborhood, her path to downtown and downtown area of Unionville. So it's really great to have someone who's kind of so involved already. She's our Safe Routes to School champion. She signed up to be the Safe Routes to School champion, and she's on the Farmington Schools Community Council for Equity and Inclusion. So just a lot of really fabulous work. And she's created a pedestrian survey for Farmington residents that's live right now that we've been sending out to people. So that's, you know, our official Bike Walk Farmington pedestrian survey, and just asking people about their comfort levels, what they feel they need in their neighborhoods, what's missing, and asking them for some open-ended feedback too. I'm sure once we kind of get rolling on that, we can see all the data from that. But yeah, if everyone on the council would maybe like to fill it out, Rachel or I could send out the link.
Excellent.
Sure. Thank you.
We're also excited too because she's very interested in bringing the Safe Routes to School program, because I don't know if she had mentioned, I was late, that her children walk to school and they've had some close instances. So
Yeah, we did hear that.
Bike Walk, yeah, so Bike Walk Farmington CT will be backing her up and giving her all the support that she needs. So I'm really looking forward to this partnership and having her on board. Yeah, so I can't think of anything else from the Trails Council.
No. Do you want to do an update then on the recreational trails grant? Do you have anything, Bruce?
That one, I had to dig a little bit, so I talked with Russ, I guess, and I actually texted Dylan, talked with him a little bit, but I guess the next step on that is putting together an RFP. So I've
Okay.
downloaded, or I've taken some old RFPs that we have, and we'll have to find some time and put together an RFP that gets sent out.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
All right. And Bruce, let me know. I'm happy to help with that.
okay, yeah. Let me see. I've got something I did when I did the bike trail to Burlington, which seems like 50 years ago, but I did an RFP for that. So I was going to kind of go through that and kind of edit that up a little bit,
Yeah.
and use that as a base. But yeah, I definitely will I'll shoot that by you, Bruce, if you don't mind, just taking a peek at it.
I would be happy to.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, thanks,
Hey,
Bruce.
Could I,
That's
could
awesome.
I comment on this or ask a question? Because I thought,
Yes.
Oh, go right ahead, Rich. What do you got?
well, I thought Dylan had shared like an update of where this was, and I thought we were very close to putting out an RFP. And
So-
In there, yeah.
sounds like we
So it's
haven't.
my understanding from a lot of different sources, and maybe I'm not going to say the right thing, but that we could be moving much quicker with this, and the town's kind of I guess I'll say dragging their feet. So yeah, I think it's time to buckle down and move forward on
Yeah, I would
this.
say it's time to move forward here. And Bruce, it's in your hands, and I feel very good about that.
Oh, it's a staffing issue. We're down with Dylan gone. We're down another engineer, so it's pretty much working late hours every day just to maintain the work that we have to keep going on this. So let me see what I can do. All right, guys.
Hey, I'll
Okay.
Well,
just
we're
throw it
not
out
here to
there
hold your
again,
feet to the
too.
fire, but to support you.
Yep.
And that's, I'm glad
Yeah,
Bruce is stepping up to
hey,
help with it.
if I could just add, I mean, I've said this several times, and I work at Pratt & Whitney. I write scopes of work, things of that nature, and I'd be more than willing to help. I don't know if that's even acceptable, but even like just to try and help move the project forward, like draft things, present them to you directly. If there's an opportunity there, I'd love to do that. That's why I joined this committee. Geez, I don't know, 5 years ago, and
Yeah.
I know we got this grant. I know you hear news about grants being pulled. I don't know if that's a concern or a possibility. I think anything's possible, but just hate to see that money like evaporate and we never did anything with this opportunity we have.
Yeah, Bruce, just for my information, is that a federal grant or a state grant? Since
That's
Yeah.
a state recreational trails grant. That's state bonding money.
okay,
So we're-
hopefully, that should be safer than federal.
Yeah, no, that should
Yeah.
be very safe.
Okay.
We still, however, should get going.
Yeah,
Obviously.
because you still want to use it before somebody thinks of it differently. So
And
Well, it's
Brian,
a 3-year grant, just so
Okay.
everyone's aware.
Brian, this one's for you. Back in the spring, we had asked if we could this is before this budget was presented, so probably January timeframe. We asked if we could have a part-time position for a bike ped advocate, that could do things like this, like help prepare, the grant applications, RFPs, things like that. And the response from the town was that there was a new engineer, and the new engineer would take that on. And
Well, as
that
I recall,
that we don't need to hire somebody for it, that we've got the bandwidth within the department to do that. And I know there's
Right.
turnover, and it's nobody expected to see Dylan depart, but at the same time, if we can resurrect that and have that as a real position that's put in there, we could move forward with this stuff, because I mean, the things take a very long time. I mean, it's taken years to have a water fountain put in, and a project the scale of the jug handle, and what the public comment was earlier, the beginning of this session, this role could do all of that.
Hmm.
And we could really
That's
move
a
the
fair
needle forward
question,
quicker.
Bike
Yeah.
and pedestrian issues, yeah.
Bruce,
Yeah,
I don't know
because-
if we've actually hired anyone at the town level to do grant writing for us, have we?
Sometimes it comes out of certain departments. There's certain departments
Yeah,
that
that's
do
what I
different
thought.
grants for different things. Like the town manager's done some, engineering department has done some, planning has done some. So we've all participated. The grant is done. The RFP is not that bad. It's just getting the time to put this down. And like I said, I know that Dylan is gone, so but we do have another engineer in the office. So when we replace Dylan, there'll be should be back up to full load in there. So
I think
it's
the
just-
conversation though was less about necessarily engineering projects and more about community projects and like smaller grants, as opposed to these like really big, kind of almost highway projects. I'm not sure that I think the discussion was whether the traditional engineering role could kind of cover what would need to be done.
Yeah, that was the conversation.
What we wanted was to, have a bucket of hours every week, 20 hours a week allocated to this person for the bike ped projects. And I don't think the engineering department's got the bandwidth to allocate half of somebody's time to do that. And that's where having this position, a funded position, at $40 an hour, part-time, no benefits for the town, I think we can get a lot accomplished. And we still work with engineering, but this would really get the needle moved forward much, much, much faster. And would work, the position would work internally within the town. Get all the stakeholders together, chase things down, move things forward, and not have to, wait for an update once a month only to be told, I'm sorry, we can't, we'll try to get to it. I can't make any promises.
Brian, something you, myself, and Russ and Kathy would have to talk about then.
Oh, absolutely. And we have mentioned it maybe going back maybe 6 months, I would say, is a fair. We probably discussed it back then. And it was something that Dylan had said that he would kind of take on because they didn't see the budget money for an additional person. I don't know what that might mean going forward, but we did discuss it briefly. So that's why we didn't really move on it, because we couldn't. Do you want to go on to the, I don't know if we have anything on the bicycle website. I know there was some data we wanted to have uploaded. I'm not sure if it has been yet.
It is in the process. IT, Dylan, I guess, sent that to him on his way out. So IT is going through trying to decipher it all. So he sent me a few emails. We've been going back and forth. So he is working on getting that on the website.
I took another look. Besides that issue, which is a really important one, obviously, there's a couple more things that need a little help with the website. If you don't mind, if I just turn it.
Yeah.
The e-bike laws were just updated, so I'm assuming the PDF there is old and also needs to be switched out.
No.
Oh, you guys updated it?
That one's no. The PDF in there is the most current. That was the one the police department. The police department had to, and that's what I was saying earlier, that we could take this and put this on the website. I think it's on the PD's page, and we could actually put a link or put this thing right in the town's bike one as well.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. Yeah, great. That one will be what's there. Okay.
Yeah, we've been doing links to PDFs just to keep everything clean, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what the design was, Carolyn?
Yes, that's what we've done so far with all the links. Yes. A couple more things. The Trails Council link goes to their event page, which is currently empty. So it might be a good idea to just link to their main page.
Right. I thought
Do we have a URL for that?
At work. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll figure it out. Yep.
Okay.
Trails Council link.
We got it.
I'll take care of that one. That's
and
easy.
then
Thanks, Bruce.
Awesome. I love it when things are easy. And then really quick, the link to the page of our committee is the page dedicated to our committee is pretty out of date. It's listing our last designation as the 2014 League of American Bicyclists report card, and it just sort of goes from there.
Yeah, there was something. The website was much bigger with a lot of pictures, and I looked at it just the other day. So I'm not sure if there was some changes recently, but it's all been down to one page now. There's no pictures. There's no, it's very minimal. So I didn't know if something happened and came out of this committee or not. So
yeah, it was. Yeah,
I
think we kind of cleaned it up because we wanted to make it quicker and easier to go through that list. Kind of like the example that you shared with us, Carolyn.
Oh, well, I mean, there's actually two different pages. There's the bicycling page, which our committee, we made a lot of progress with that. So I mean, it's besides those little details, it's looking really good. And then there's also the bicycling committee page, which is, believe it or not, for some reason it's a separate page. Yeah, it's that one, and it's just
well, it's got the 2024, 2028 league. It's got the community survey.
Yeah, but if you go to the second paragraph up top, it says in May 2014, the town of Farmington was awarded bronze status. And then it mentions we're representing the bicycle community, businesses, schools, winding trails, and engineers. it just didn't seem exactly. Oh, well, here we go. There's the community survey. The community survey. Okay, now that we're looking at it, I'm seeing it. Community survey ended up on the committee page instead of.
Where's it
I'm
supposed to
glad you
go?
pulled that up, Bruce.
Where was that supposed to go?
That was going to go on the bicycling page, which is
Isn't
kind
that,
which is
help
what
me
our
out, isn't that the same one? I got the bicycle committee. Oh, no, you know what? That's under engineering,
It
right?
gets very confusing. It gets
Yes,
very-
it's under engineering. And I think there's a bicycle.
Yeah, I saw it up at the top.
Yeah, bicycle
Yeah.
committee.
bicycle committee versus
Takes us back to the same
bicycling.
one.
Yeah.
All right. Bicycle information, what page is this one? I don't know. This one?
Yeah, so there's two.
Okay.
And again, like I don't know if that makes sense even to have bicycling and bicycle committee. But yeah, I guess that's where the information did go up just on the wrong page, but why is
Okay.
there even 2 pages? So it's just a little bit
Any thoughts on, give me a hand? Got any idea? I'm not a big website designer, I'm an engineer by trade.
yeah, sure. No, would it be okay if the subcommittee wants to reconvene to just look at that, if that's okay? Because
Did you
I
have
know originally we were like really
Absolutely.
just focused on that one page, but now it is a bit confusing, even confusing for the people updating it. So
All right.
Sure. I
Yeah.
realized there was another page. I thought that was the only one that we worked on.
Okay.
yes, it
Aha.
was, but there was another one lurking that we
Okay.
didn't get to.
Okay, let's reconvene then.
Okay,
Who was on that?
it was Ron and Brian and I think,
Mhm.
and Dylan.
Yeah, that's cool.
Does anyone want to take the lead? And it would help me out
Sure.
a ton if someone took the lead on that, but I'll come to all the meetings and we'll do all that. I just being able to schedule people as it is,
I can take the lead.
Carolyn, you kind
wanna
of
take the
speared
lead?
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Carolyn.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
All right.
And last one, go back to
We
this
got
here.
safe routes.
Yeah. Town of Farmington bicycle website, bike, walk, vibrant community. What's that? Is that what that survey is?
No, so that was something that we were going to present to the members of the town, of town hall, of police department and such, kind of like a Q&A and explaining where we are now with bike ped safety issues. We kind of lost steam when we went in another direction with a different project. So that was Neil, I, and Carolyn. I'm not sure. Bruce. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce was involved.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do have our little committee. We met once, then it just kind of fizzled. So if the other 3 or 4 would like to start this back up again, we can certainly do that.
Yeah,
We-
and maybe we could do something in conjunction or around May, Bike Safety Month next year.
Yeah.
We had initially thought of doing something in September, and then I think a lot of things got in the way, but we kind of focused on the library program that we talked about earlier. And same people can't do everything, so that was the one we got off the ground this year. But this idea of getting the community, the people from town hall, the public, involved in talking about bike safety, and having people from around the state talk about safety as well.
Okay, so you're
it doesn't
talking
just
about
have to be a
you're talking about
Farmington
having
thing.
like a public
Yeah.
informational meeting, that kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I did. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I like the idea of next May, bike month. Let's schedule that. It's something that I think the town should do. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's another way for Farmington to show leadership, I think, too.
Sure.
And this is another thing that part-time bike ped position would handle. we can't expect an engineer to come in and lead these sessions, but at the same time, the advisory committee is supposed to be advising the town, not basically, having to take the lead on everything. And I'm sorry, I'll stop bringing that one up. The other thing that I think we wanted to bring up, and Brian, I think you mentioned that you were going to bring it up at one of the town hall meetings, is a summary of what we've accomplished in the past year, and to present that at one of the town council meetings, just so everybody's aware of what we do, and what progress we've made. And, by sharing that, we'll get hopefully even more support and can keep progressing with it.
Right. And Dylan was putting together that list, but I don't know where that status is right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dylan is me, right?
Well, not to
Bruce,
put it on you, Bruce, because this year, I know it's not your first rodeo here,
Put up
but
update list.
maybe
I'll see if I
we
can
could
find
put
it.
together.
All right, I'll see if I can
Yeah.
find something. If
All right,
anyone,
and we
like I
can
said,
certainly fill it out. We'll
Okay.
spread it around, and we can just add to the list. And I'll make that.
Okay.
I'll tell them that we want to do that presentation next meeting, which would be next week.
Okay.
Yep,
I'll call
that'll
and
be
see if I can
great.
get it on the agenda, or it's something that you could get up and speak to. Someone could. It wouldn't be me, but let me get it put on the agenda.
All right, let me find something, and then we'll go from there. I'm not sure where the council would want, and I'm not sure which of the meetings, if they do, which one that would be at. So, because I think there's 2 meetings in
Yeah.
October, right? Okay.
So
We do.
yeah,
we
so I
have
think
another meeting.
Yep.
I think the one would be presented at, which is more of a public. The other one is really, the second one is the workshop. So
Yeah.
we really don't do a lot of that stuff
The first
there.
one,
So it probably
the first one may be
stay.
tight because
Yeah. You might
we'd
have to
have to
wait
have
till
it.
like November, first meeting in November.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, November.
We did it in the first meeting of November. Would you guys be good with that?
Anything is
Yeah.
better than nothing. I'll take it.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think, I think we benefit from having Mr. Donald on our committee because he's undoubtedly he's been a panel member for a lot of these. And so I think we have a lot of information to share with the town, information that they usually don't get from the people who are kind of, running the show. So I love that whole idea.
Ron, would it make
Okay.
sense for us to have almost a public informational meeting run by the town? Not so much a working meeting like, the ones that we have every month like this, but if we had just for the public, hey, the Bike Ped Advisory Committee wants to share, what we're doing, public, please come and hear our updates on this and on that and whatever. And, it could be a half-hour session. We book some time in town hall, and I don't know how it would be attended, or if we could piggyback on the end or in the middle of some meeting.
Yeah,
But I'd
we get a
love
half
to get
hour to
us in
town
front
council
of,
meeting.
yeah, I'd love to get us in front of residents. And I think there's a lot of people that love what we do, but aren't even aware that this exists.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And like I just said, we've got the people who are very knowledgeable in town about, about the trails. And, we've got 2 or 3 league certified inspectors as well. So, we've got a ton of talent here. So yeah, instead of wasting it, I do think we should take advantage of that. And then people feel more comfortable. They feel like, okay, these are the people representing me, or this is great because they really sound like they know what they're doing.
And like I'd love to, get live feedback from people. Like in the beginning public comment, I had no idea that, that grant existed for the crosswalk by Lovely and that we hadn't been moving forward with it. I don't know if that's a state road or not, but it'd be I'm sure there's a lot of people that have similar stories that we're not even aware of, that just kind of fall through the cracks in, town communication, where we've got opportunities to put that on our agenda to keep tabs on it and to keep moving it forward.
Yeah. Yep. Yes to all of that.
Well, let's
Um,
if you really want to bring people from the public in, I'm not sure if the town council is the place to do that,
Yeah.
because that's a good place to report what we are doing. But if you want to get
Yep.
feedback, we might want to invite the public to one of these meetings and invite them to speak at public comment. What do you think of that, Bruce?
Well,
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's always
it-
been there, but I think, like I said, you
Yeah.
guys want to do that. You want to do that.
It's
bike
just
route.
not a dialogue. That's the thing. You're looking for more of a dialogue, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Like
that's a
we
different
did our
type of meeting.
survey, but the survey is just so antiseptic. It's not personal. You don't hear the connections and what's going on. And if we actually had an informational session, I mean, heck, it could even be at the library. But if we got like 20 people showing up, maybe even 40, 50, who knows? But there's a lot of people that I think would love to hear what we do. And maybe town council is where we do the highlights, but this could be kind of, hey, this is a state of bicycling in Farmington. Here's what we're doing. We want to get your input.
I don't even know
to
if,
shape, to shape next
Bruce,
year
I
what
don't
we
know.
want to
Is that
do.
something
And
that this committee can even do?
Well,
Can we
actually,
hold a public meeting at the library separate like that?
but if I could interject, that was the whole point of this vibrant community thing, was to get some information out and get the community engaged, and it wasn't going to be
Yes.
just a one-off, right? It would,
Right.
and I kind of viewed that as part of Bike Walk Farmington. So it wasn't this committee, it wasn't the town council. Obviously, it's some of the same people, and we would want to hear, or we'd give the town council an opportunity to report about what the town's doing, and this committee could report out what we're doing. But I kind of saw it under the Bike Walk Farmington umbrella.
Okay.
Yes, for sure, Neil, because like you said, we are not the political branch, if you want to call it that. We are just bike ped advocates who
Right.
only care about safety and nothing else.
Yeah, and we can educate, we can take feedback, we can pass that along to the town council and the decision makers. And I think,
Yeah.
Anders, that gets to everything you were talking about, which were great ideas.
Is that something you guys can
Okay.
schedule through Bike Walk?
Yeah.
Through, oh, yeah.
Bike Walk? Yeah.
Yeah,
they
but
Yeah, and
that's what we were talking about with Bruce Donald, right? Next spring during do the first one during Bike Safety Month, and then it'll branch out from there.
the only thing with Bike Walk doing it rather than this committee doing it is, the Bike Walk seems to be geared more towards, education and activities. And I was thinking that, the public would be more interested, or not more interested, wrong words, but, more, I guess we're not communicating all the infrastructure stuff that's happening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Between sidewalk projects, between the jug handle, the condo development, the gateway to Farmington, the condos by the bike path, and the what's happening there with where the owners died, all of these projects that we've got in the loop, and it's slowly making its way forward. Our town residents probably don't know about it. I doubt they're looking up the Zoom recordings of these meetings or reading the AI minutes transcribed or any of that. And here's our chance. I'd love to just share, here's what we're doing, here's what we've got done. These are the big projects that we're working on still, and it might seem like nothing's happening, but all of this stuff is moving on in the background and we're moving it forward. And by the
Well,
way,
you know what I'd like to do,
what do
Andrew,
you
is to
want?
address
What do you want
your
from us?
concerns.
Say again?
What we might want to do is if we've got a plan to do something at the November meeting, why don't we do a little meeting offline and discuss the a list of things that we want to talk about and create some kind of an agenda and see what might be the best venue to do that and give ourselves time to promote it and invite people.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, and I think
idea.
Andrews at the end made a really great point when he said, asking us what can we do for them. I love that type of attitude. I love that approach. And whether it means more little bike rides or less or education or whatever, I think we need we need to follow our constituents, or I don't know what the right word is, but
Yeah, no, it's constituents. Sure.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do like that wording, and I think that's going to give us the most bang for the buck.
Okay, is that something we can do through Bike Walk and then give a report to the town, to the town
So
probably in
doing what
November?
from
Let's see what's the best
so
way.
like
Yeah, let's discuss that offline because I know the
let's do
time is
that.
ticking
Yep.
away here.
Yeah,
Okay.
please include me in that meeting, and we'll be Rachel too as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, me too.
Ron, do you want to schedule that and include Carolyn and Rachel and Andres?
Yeah.
Bruce, is that something you want to be a part of?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to because if it's gonna go to the council, I need to be
Okay.
part of that. So
That's what I thought. Okay.
What's a
Ryan, I'll put
good
that in your court to schedule the meeting.
working title? Okay. What's a good working title for this?
Why don't we call it the Vibrant Community Forum Update, and we'll stick with what we
Let's
got.
go with vibrant. Okay, great. Yep. All right, excellent.
And why don't we go
All
to
right.
Safe Routes to School? Not that we couldn't spend more time on that, but let's do it offline. Safe Routes to School, is there any update on that other than the emails that we got from Dylan, before he went to West Hartford? Because they shared a lot of information about Safe Routes to Schools from Maureen.
And Brian, did you guys have
Right.
the meeting with Bridget?
We
I
did
think that's
not
what we're talking
because
about last week.
there was not enough time. So he forwarded a lot of information to me, and Maureen sent me some information, and I thought I would wait till Bruce came on board to see what's the best way for us to engage with them, and certainly include James in that.
So the next action is for Farmington to set up a date with Bridget for discussion.
Correct. And Bruce, I'll share what I have, what I got from Dylan, and just make sure we're all on the same page and we can decide how we move forward on this. Does that sound fair?
yeah, I don't have any information on this one, so okay.
No worries.
You
Okay,
could forward that
so-
to me.
Yeah.
It was kind of done at the 11th hour, so I want to make sure that everyone's fully up to speed.
Yeah, I don't know about the 11th hour because this has been on our plate for a very
No,
long
I meant
time.
the information that I got. The information I got from Dylan was just before he left, so I'm saying we didn't
I
have a
see,
chance to.
information.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the information,
Got it.
not the topic. Sure.
So Bike Walk Farmington, we kind of discussed what's important for us right now moving on, and that was at the top of the list. So we're gonna actually, if we don't see any movement, we're gonna probably start working hard on this. Because we've run into a lot of parents who are all for it, and it's not. I don't know. I just want to bring that up that we're gonna fight hard for this.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, this
That
is
sounded like
another
a
one that's
threat,
been
but it's
brought
not.
up that you've taken 6 months to try to get a meeting on the board with Bridget.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
this goes before COVID even, so
yeah.
yeah. It keeps getting kicked back, but anyway, that's another meeting.
We'll watch a little bit of TV after I read 5.
Okay, so Bruce, I'll share the emails that I got from Dylan and Bridget, so you have that. And why don't we discuss how we want to engage with James at this point? And do you know all the folks here, Bruce? Do you know James Ratcliffe for the BOE?
No, I know of it, but I don't, but I've never met him, so.
Okay, I just thought since you guys haven't met, let me introduce you so you know who's who.
Okay.
Do you know the rest of the faces and names here?
I think everybody else I know. Yep.
All
I've
right.
bumped into everybody. You've been here long enough, so I can't hide.
All right.
Yep,
I can't hide for
You
that
can't.
long, so.
you can't hide.
So, Brian, for the Safe Routes to School, is it a matter of just finding a time on the schedule for yourself and Bruce and James to talk to Bridget for half an hour? Is that our next action, is literally just find half an hour for everybody where we can do this, and hopefully in the next month?
That would be there for our first step. Absolutely.
Okay, is that possible, you think?
I believe so.
So I'm just going to throw in there that it's kind of repetitive, but some of us sitting here tonight have a lot of experience with with the program actually, and with trying to promote it and stuff. So, we are here too to sprinkle us in and wind us up and kind of listen to what we have to say as well.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
that makes sense.
I just want to make sure
Okay.
Bruce is up to speed and that James
Yep.
has all the same information that we have. And then we'll talk to
Excellent.
Bridget and figure out how to make that happen. Does that sound fair, Bruce? All right. Well, you don't have much on your plate now.
I know,
But we
it's
do have a
terrible.
direction. So we really appreciate you being here and helping us move some of these things forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Bruce.
All right. That takes us through our agenda for today. Did everyone have a chance to take a look at the minutes? And are there any changes or adjustments? I see none. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes? In a second?
I'll second it.
One and second. All right. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Nodding heads.
I didn't get the other one. I got
Did
Ron.
you have
Who
anything
was the
you
other?
wanted? I'm sorry. What was that, Bruce?
Who made the motion? I got Ron approving it, but I didn't hear who made the motion.
Brian
I
did.
think it was Bruce.
Brian?
Oh,
Who? No,
Bruce, did you make the motion to approve the minutes?
Sure, I'll do that.
sounds
And
good.
who seconded? You had the second,
Ron.
right?
Yeah, Ron's
Ron
up.
got that one. I got that one. Thank you,
Gotcha.
guys.
All right. So, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey. So, here we go. We're out at 8:23. Bruce, is there anything that I should have asked you earlier? Was there anything you wanted to add to this?
So I think that's everything right now. I'm gonna
Just
try
wanted to
have
make
put
sure.
together a
Sorry.
board. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put together a board here and get all this stuff
Okay.
going. All right.
Hey, Bruce, there was one other thing I mentioned to Dylan before he left. I don't know if he ever did anything on it. The water pressure at the new the off of where they put the water station in, off that little down by the town garage, that little parking lot there.
Okay.
The water pressure is fine for bottle fill, but for dogs and just the drinking fountain, it just dribbles out. So I had sent Dylan a note on that. So if you could have somebody look at that.
This was a really busy meeting, but for next meeting, would we be able to talk about our committee name? I've heard our
Oh,
committee
right,
called a few
right.
different things. But
Yeah.
That's right. You mentioned
Um,
that. Okay.
there was just so much going on in this meeting, though.
Yeah. So add that as new business for the next month.
Yep, we'll
Yeah.
do that.
Okay. The name of this
Sounds
committee.
good.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Um, I guess this is for Bruce, but with the Zoom meetings, does Zoom do an AI transcription and then come up with kind of minutes and actions and stuff right from the meeting?
We tried that. It's pretty ugly.
Okay.
No, it's not. We were actually fooling around with that for something else that we were doing, and it did not work out well. So,
Okay.
Yeah. I know
There is-
Dylan tried it and he said it didn't work at all. At least not well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually got a corporate account, and we basically banned it because it says all sorts of interesting things that perhaps were never mentioned. No, seriously, it was really. I mean, it got to the point where people were like fighting about. No, I didn't say that, and we're like, so yeah, so we just canned it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
like this, there'll probably be like 200 pages too. That's how much.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Excellent.
tough.
Yeah.
So,
There's actually an online AI-driven newspaper that breaks down our meetings. If you want to read it, it's the Farmington
Really?
Mercury. Yeah, you can. It's very. Some of the details are way off, but it does kind of sum up the meeting.
Oh, Farmington Mercury does that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And where are they getting a recording of our meeting?
Oh, YouTube.
yeah, online. Yeah. Once I hit done, the IT goes through it the next day, cleans up, short, the beginning and the end, just kind of makes it to whatever the motion to open the meeting and then the adjournment cleans that up and then just posts it.
Oh, so the whole
On the
meeting
website.
goes out there, huh?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
I'm actually reading right now. I went to the Farmington Mercury and I'm reading about another meeting where AI was cited as something to create minutes. There's actually this discussion is also on the Farmington Mercury, right? We've had it before. It's anyway.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's got me saying a million times and
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, man.
Bruce, why don't I give you a call, or at least send you a message tomorrow? We can figure out a time to talk about the safe routes to school. All right, everyone. Thanks very much for your input tonight. I appreciate you all being here.
great.
Take
Thank you,
care.
All
Brian.
right.
Thanks, Bruce.
Good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
All right.
Night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.